Lego people, not Lego men.
Then you only have to buy 7 to get a repeat.
Well, but here's the deal. He didn't want a repeat. He wanted no repeats. He wanted all the figures, yeah? So, for Max, he wanted this graph. This is the graph he was interested in. He didn't know that because he's 5.5 when we did this discussion. So let's suppose there are only 6 minifigures. Only 6 minifigures, not 16. But you can see how this would look similar for 16. Well, what's the chance that we're going to get them all in the first 6 pulls? Well, let's see. We saw that happen 8 times out of a combined total of 495 trials. Are those good odds or crappy odds?
Crappy.
That's crappy odds if you want to get it in the first 6 bags. It's too hard to get them in the first 6 bags because it's too likely that in the first 6 bags you're going to get a repeat. This is why this whole lesson started, was this discussion me and him had in this Lego store. But then I started realizing, I'm like, oh my God, it applies to everything. It applies to Tammy and playing craps and poker. It applies to horse betting at some level, not the edge part, but
Garbage Pail Kids cards.
it applies. The one I love using is the Star Wars 1977 Collector Series. Yes, the original. I have a couple of them, but the whole series. Here's, I'll find it real quick for you. Hang on. Star Wars 1977 trading cards. Star Wars 1970. I can't type them in cap locks. Star Wars 1977 trading cards. Let's find them real quick. Here we go. Series 4. Is that Series 4? I believe it is. How many of them were there? Hang on. Let's check Wikipedia. I don't trust it. Collectible trading cards. How many of them were there? How many card series? Here we go. 66 cards and 11 stickers. Forget the stickers, go to 66 cards. How long would that take on average? How many cards would you have to buy if you were buying them randomly? So in other words, you're going in and buying the brand new cards and popping them open until you had the full set. Well, check this out. Check this out. I actually calculated somewhere in here. I thought I did anyway. Hang on. Here. For a die, for a 6-sided die, it takes you about an average of 15 rolls until you see them all. Until you see all the faces. So there's 6 faces on the die, but it takes you an average of about 15 until you can predictably say, okay, I rolled enough to see all of them. Notice how we stopped before we got to 15 up there, and some of you still hadn't seen them all. That makes perfect sense. The average is too high, we hadn't gotten to it. Makes perfect sense. Imagine what the average would be for 66. And it becomes tricky, but it's a neat mathematical construction. That's actually the graph. This is the graph of the number of, I called it coupons. The actual problem is called the coupon collector problem. If you have X coupons, how many Y coupons would you have to randomly select until you're reasonably sure you've gotten them all? So for example, for 6, it's about equal to that 15 that we just talked about. So where's the Star Wars trading cards? Way the hell over there. Way the hell over there. Notice how we're up to 120 for 30. So if there were 30 trading cards, you'd have to buy 120. Yes? For Max and the Lego people, 16, I think it's this one, we would have to be in there and buy somewhere around 55 on average. That doesn't mean we get it. That's just the average. It might take more, it might take less. So 55 times, like $2.50 a pop or something like that. It gets pricey. It gets pricey, but that's the idea. If you can simulate the experiment like you guys just did, you get it.
Did he ever get the whole collection?
No, he lost interest. He lost interest. He did. He lost it. I mean, honestly, he's 6. So I got a very brief attention span I got to work with there. But the idea is there is a tool. Look at the shit. If you had to model that with an equation, what would you pick?
Exponential.
What would you pick?
Exponential.
Exponential?
Linear, I mean.
Linear? What do you guys? What do you think? It's almost perfectly linear. I mean, look, hang on. There. That's not bad. That is not bad. There's your linear trend line. Look, it's a little high here, or it's a little low here, I guess. It's a little high here. It's a little low over here. It is undulating a little bit. It is but it's almost perfectly linear, which means if you had the equation, you could predict on average how many more you'd have to buy with each additional coupon. Pretty slick, huh? Pretty slick. It all comes full circle. Craps Monday, yes? Yes, Craps Monday, we'll bring the dice back out. I was gonna go with coins, we'll forget the coins, we'll go with the dice. Thank you guys for your patience. Crap.
Exactly. Monday. We'll do it Monday. We're all making a quiz up. We're all making a quiz up.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
He was in his office, he printed it out for me. He's like, hey, look at this.
Thank you for bearing with the data collection. I know it was frustrating that it took a long time. But if I promise, stick with me, it goes somewhere, I promise. And thank you for dealing with my inability to count.